Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9. So we are getting closer and closer and, yep, that's the word, closer to the 9th and final season premiere for The Flash, with it now being just under 2 weeks from now until that all happens and we can see how it all wraps up. Now, I'm not sure how much more promo or promotional stuff we will be getting or that's going to be coming out before that Season 9 premiere. Maybe another poster and some interviews and stuff like that. But after what we got, after what we go over in today's video, might I say, I mean, this could be the last of the main stuff we would usually expect to come out. But you never know, it's a final season, so they could have more in store. But yeah, I'm not really expecting anything outside of maybe another poster and a few interviews with Eric Wallace and maybe some of the cast with various outlets, you know, just before the premiere. But in this video, we are going to go over the promo images that were released recently for episode 1 for season 9, which of course is entitled Wednesday Ever After. And we will also be going over some last minute questions heading into the final ever season of The Flash. The Flash? The Flash. I think I can pronounce and speak English. Just some housekeeping. Tomorrow, when this video comes out, I'll be doing my first stream on the relaunch of the Twitch channel after a lengthy hiatus of sorts. So keep your eyes out for that, whether it's the actual Twitch thing or I might upload a YouTube video to say I'm live over there. But the link in the link to the Twitch is in the description down below. Free to make an account. Go follow it. Takes 2 seconds. Actually, maybe 5 seconds. We'll give you some leeway. But yeah, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various opinion on the stuff we go over. Might have some theories, might not, just might want to leave your opinions. So feel free to do that. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, you're looking forward to the final season of The Flash, and just want to show your support, why not drop a like on the video to do all that. So yeah, let's go over these photos. So there is, I think 7? Yeah, there's 7. There's 7 photos. Would have been good if there was 9. 9 for the season premiere of season 9, but we got 7, so I guess we'll have to deal with that. So the first ones, we're going to go over them a bit out of order in regards to how they were laid out. So I don't know if that means I'm going out of order chronologically for the episode, but it's the way I wanted to do it. So that's how we're doing it. Because we're going to go from happy to worried. That's the way I want to do it. So you can see the first one here. Barry is smiling, I guess, but you get a good look. This is a good photo of him in the Flash suit. I'm sure I'll probably use this for a good amount of thumbnails because it's a good suit, good shot of the suit. But yeah, nice and happy here. You get a cool little action one here, and you can tell from this surrounding that this is when they're facing Captain Boomerang. Now, we don't know specifically when this takes place in the episode, or if it's sporadically throughout the episode because of the nature and the story of the first episode, which we'll get to in a second. But based off what's happening here, and based off Barry's face, must be good. Something good must have gone their way. Maybe after a lot of failed attempts, who knows. And then we do get a Iris and Barry moment here. Once again, we had seen, was it in the trailer? I can't remember if it was in the trailer or set photos, but Iris was on location or on set with the Captain Boomerang stuff. But once again, maybe the storyline in this episode is that maybe she isn't sometimes, and at the end she is. I'm not too sure. But this is where we start to get into like the worried parts of this trailer. So, as we know, heading into episode 1, based off the synopsis, even though we also got in the trailer, but the synopsis tells us, the side effects, if you want to call it, or the fallout from doing it. But Barry makes a map book which sets out him and Iris's future, so he can keep Iris safe. Now, one of the repercussions of this is that there is now a time loop that's started. Now, we don't know the nature of the time loop, whether it's like a live, die, repeat thing, or whether if it's one particular person dies and it restarts. I think like Legends did one where it was just like if the Wave Rider exploded, it reset time, I think. But then Arrow did a time loop episode where I think it was if Quentin Lance died or something, or I think it was Quentin Lance or something in the final season of Arrow, then the time loop would restart as well. I think it was Quentin Lance from memory. And did another show, well, Flash did one technically with Nora, but that was more like just going back in time, I think. That was just Nora rewinding time herself. From memory, it wasn't like your standard time loop where you wake up but still remember what happened, if that makes sense. But with Barry, it seems like he's the one that's going to be experiencing it and maybe not Iris herself. So maybe Iris dying is the thing that resets it, or maybe it's either of them. Maybe either of them can die and it resets, or it's a bit of a mix of both. Maybe both of them have to. Who knows? But Barry here looks a bit stressed out. He doesn't look comfortable at all. definitely looks like he's had a rough day or he hasn't slept or a combination of everything that we just talked about. So it looks like he's struggling a bit. And this like could be just at the thought of the map book and him realizing that he's tinkered with time again when he knows that doing that is always going to have some repercussions. And yeah, he just looks a bit stressed out. And even in the next photo, it looks like he's pondering a bit, going like, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do here? So I'm very curious to see like what the cause of it all is, and I guess the solution of it is as well. Based off the fact in those first photos we went over that they're smiling and stuff, it makes you think it's something to do with either Captain Boomerang or that device that Captain Boomerang is around. Maybe that, isn't it like a detonation sort of thing? Not too sure. We don't get too much context either from these photos or the trailers that have come out for this season. So I'd assume it's something around that device. I just don't know exactly what that device does. So that's a wait and see. But there is this photo here of Chester in a full-on like bomb detonator sort of. It looks like he's from the Hurt Locker. That's what it looks like. But it's even got like Star Labs embroidered stuff. So it's a Star Labs Hurt Locker outfit. I know what you'd call like a bomb detonator or something like that. But yeah, he's dressed up like that. So I'm wondering if the bomb is also in... Because I remember there was a shot in the trailer, I might be able to bring it up, where like Star Labs looks like it's been hit with something, like an explosion or something like that. So I don't know if maybe they're able to harness whatever the explosive thing is, maybe in this episode, take it to Star Labs of all places. Wouldn't you take it to an open field if that's the case? But anyway, it might be Star Labs, and that's why Chester's like this and then it explodes. Not too sure, but that could be what's going down. And the final promo image is just of Allegra, but she's in Iris's office, so maybe this plays into the time loop aspect as well. You never know. I don't know if Central City Citizen Media's got a zhuzh, if you want to call it, like a bit of a renovation. I don't know if it was like this. Like obviously Iris's office was like this last season for the most part. I don't know if that background area has changed much. Can't remember off the top of my head. Wasn't really in the front of my head, or I wasn't really thinking about the design of Central City Citizen Media too much since we've seen it. But yeah, I'm not too sure if it's got an upgrade or not. But yeah, those are the promo images. So feel free to let me know in the comment section down below any theories you have based off those. It's it's minimal, but you can still have some sort of guesses there. But let's head into these questions that people have had. These are like the common questions I've seen that I might have reworded roughly, but for the most part, they're pretty much what people are asking. And the first one is how many graphic novels we're getting this season, because there is a lot of confusion. I'm still confused as well. Like I don't have a definitive answer or even that great of a guess. I think the safe answer is that there is 2. The first one being the Red Death Rogue sort of arc, which I would combine because it seems like they're going to overlap. And then maybe this final thing, which maybe starts with the return of Oliver Queen and stuff, but then also what we're seeing, in episode 10 stuff with the set photos. I don't know if I've done that video yet or if it's going to come out after this one. I'm not too sure. But it could be 2. That's probably the safe answer. But 3 is also a strong possibility because there is 13 episodes this season. We don't know if that first arc, which really harnesses 2 main threats for the Flash, the Rogues and Red Death, they're combined for the first 5. There's still 8 episodes to go. They could easily make it like split the final 8 episodes into 2 graphic novels of 4 episodes each. That makes 3 graphic novels as a whole. Thank you for the math. So that it could easily be 3. Safe answer is 2, but it could easily be 3. Another common question, and it's sort of crazy. It's such a common question and I guess like concern, but at the same time, it's not. It's weird, but there is a lot of people worried about time in this final season because it is only 13 episodes being wasted on characters like your Chesters, your Ceciles, and your Allegras. Now, wasted is a complex term because it depends what you mean by that. If you mean like one or more of those characters have like seasonal through-line stories, if you want to call it, then yeah, that's not necessary. In a 13 episode final season, no. This season should mainly be focused obviously around Barry, but also your other OG characters of Iris, Caitlin, and I guess Joe for the limited amount of episodes we have, as they are the remaining characters on the show that were back on in season 1. But if they do play a part, like Chester, Allegra, and Cecile, they do play a part in those main focus stories and do have significant screen time due to that, I don't have an issue with that because they're playing into that storyline. And I would assume that like Allegra and Chester in particular would have that, like Chester alongside Barry and Allegra the Iris, which these promo images highlight. You have Chester working in Star Labs with stuff associated with the Flash, and then we have Allegra in the Central City Citizen Media in Iris's office. So that works out perfectly. So from what I can tell, I guess most people's concerns is maybe someone like Cecile, but maybe with Joe not being in this season as much, like only like 5 episodes or so roughly, that might limit those concerns. But then again, maybe that means they could be even more Cecile to fill that void that Joe is leaving, like in season 5 or 6 or whatever it was, when Jesse or Martin was injured, like that injured back, had surgery and couldn't act. So could be either of those, who knows. And the final thing I get asked a lot is my thoughts on the series finale, how they're going to handle it. Now, honestly, it is hard to tell at this point what they're going to do. It could be like a reunion type special and maybe be centered around the birth of Nora, because we know based off the map book, Iris gets pregnant with Nora in 3 months. So maybe there's a bit of time jumping throughout the season where we get to the point where Iris does give birth to Nora. So that, you know, that would make sense as to why familiar characters from not only the past on the Flash, but even through, you know, throughout the Arrowverse would return all at once. Like, and that also wouldn't even include superhero characters as well. And that's for like a baby shower type celebration or situation, stuff like that, with Barry and Iris and the newborn daughter. Now, I don't know if they're going to do a 1 hour or a 2 hour finale special. Obviously, Supergirl did a 2 hour finale special. And like they had like their big bad final battle in that first hour, and then did sort of like the wedding and stuff like that, and like a reunion type thing in that second half. Like if it was a 2 hour finale for the Flash, then I could definitely see them spending the first hour like Supergirl did, defeating the big bad, whoever it might be, and all that, and all the action type stuff. And then the final hour or the second episode is that celebration and reunion and goodbye to the show and all these characters. Now, if we only do have that one thing, like the, you know, it's a one, like episode 13 is by itself on whatever week it is that it does air, I could see them having like a cliffhanger at the end of episode 12 with the villain, and the first half of maybe 2/3, I'd say first half, maybe 2/3, whatever you want to call it, of that final episode is all the action stuff with the final villain, but all the returning characters that might play into like a celebration reunion stuff, maybe with a baby shower, whatever it is, already are there and play a part with all that action stuff, or they're within Star Labs or whatever it might be. But it's a balance. We don't know exactly if that's going to be a focus, like a heavy focus, bringing back characters, or they're just going to try and focus on the characters that are still on the show. Though you would expect a certain amount of people to come back for that final episode that at least are integral to the Flash as a show, if they can do it. So it's a wait and see. They're filming episode 10 at the moment, so we're actually not even that far away from them filming the finale. That will start to happen in the beginning of March. So we're just over a month away from them filming the finale. Pretty crazy though with that. It feels like they were filming episode 1 2 weeks ago. But yeah, they're only about, I'd say about like what, 5 or 6 weeks roughly, I think, away from filming the finale, or the series finale for The Flash. So we'll probably get some updates when that starts to happen. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on all the stuff we went over in this video. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel and everything like that, be sure to click that subscribe button. As I said, go follow the Twitch link in the description, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Goodbye.